Good afternoon, students. This is Subhakar P from the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, ISL Engineering College. I am going to handle the subject that is called PTSP. Standard form of PTSP is probability theory and stochastic processes. In this class or in this video, I am going to explain some of the introduction about the probability theory and the stochastic process. I am going to explain the units of all the units of this complete subject, unit 1 to unit 5, and after that I am going to give the overview on complete this 5 units. Probability theory. First I am going with the fundamental thing about the probability theory. What is probability actually? Probability is nothing but possibility of occurring an event in a random process is called probability. For example, if I have the coin which can have the head and tail, if I toss that one, there is a probability of having the probability of getting the head and as well as a tail. The probability of getting the tail, possibility of getting the tail is called the sometimes probability. Possibility of getting the head also sometimes call it as probability. So that finally probability is nothing but possibility of occurring an event in a random process is called probability. In the earlier classes we have studied the probability in the mathematics. Here also the complete probability theory deals with the mathematics only. We are going to study the functions, we are going to study the sets with their properties, with their theorems. We are going to study the complete probability theory. We are going to study this complete probability theory in 3 units. First 3 units discuss about the probability theory and random variables. So if you are good at the previous classes or if you are good at the basics of the mathematics, and this probability theory is going to be simple for you. I am going to give the definition of the probability theory. Just now I have given the definition of probability. Probability is nothing but possibility of occurring an event in a random process, in a random way, that is called probability. But here we are not going to discuss the probability alone, we are going to discuss about the probability theory. Probability theory is one branch of mathematics actually. It is one branch of mathematics, or we can call it is a modern mathematics. It is a modern mathematics or one branch of mathematics which related with the, which is in relation with the other algebra, like other mathematics like algebra, topology, some analysis. So all these combinedly when the modern mathematics in relation with the analysis, algebra, topology, then that particular branch of mathematics is called probability theory. This probability theory we are going to discuss in 3 units. First unit, second unit and third unit completely deals with the probability theory. Once again I am giving the definition of the probability theory. It is the modern mathematics which is having the relation in relation with the algebra, topology and some analysis with the, it is going to deal with some sets, some functions and some theorems also. This is a probability theory. Here we are going to study the another important thing in the PTSP, that is stochastic process. Here we are going to study the probability theory by making use of the random variables, and that random variables may be multiple random variables and single random variable also. By using the single random variable and the multiple random variables, we are going to study the first 3 units. Coming to the last 2 units deals with some type of signals or some type of random variables. With respect to the random variables and the signals, we have to study the 4th and 5th unit, and that random variables is continuous in nature or discrete in nature or discontinuous in its nature, that random variable. And for those random variables or those functions, we have to study the mean square errors, and we have to study some noise signals, we have to study the correlation and autocorrelation, and all these things will be studied in case of stochastic process. So these are the topics we are going to cover in the 4th and 5th unit. Then what exactly the stochastic process is? Stochastic process is nothing but it is index collection of a random variable. That means if you go with the definition, it is a index collection of random variable of set, that is x of t. Here x of t is a component in one particular set, we can call it is a capital T, and whereas t can be 0, 1, 2, 3 like that. If you extend that one, you can get the number of elements in that particular set as you require. So that stochastic process is nothing but index collection of a random variable of a set which can have some finite number of elements, that is called stochastic process. By using the stochastic process, you can easily analyze the random variable, that may be single random variable and multiple random variable. With respect to those particular random variables, we can apply that random variable concept in the various signals, and we can calculate the mean square error, correlation, autocorrelation, and we can sometimes calculate the noise also. This is the stochastic process. This here the probability theory deals with the random variable sets, functions and theorems. If you are good at this set of functions, theorems and random variable, single random variable, multiple random variables, then you can easily understand the stochastic process. This stochastic process is mainly used in stochastic process. If you are good at in a stochastic process, you may be good at, you are going to be good at in coming subjects like communications and signals and system and signal processing will be easy for the electronic students if you are good at in the stochastic process. So that PTSP is one of the core subject for electronics and communications, so that everybody has to put the more focus on the probability theory and the stochastic processes. And this PTSP is having around 5 units. The first unit deals with probability and random variables. Here we are going to solve some of the problems based on the probability, and compared to the probability you have studied in the intermediate or 10th class, this probability is somewhat complex than that particular classes, 10th class and intermediate. This probability is somewhat complex. And coming to the another part of the first unit, that is random variable, we are going to discuss in the first unit random variable. Here we are going to study the single random variables, and we are going to discuss these 2 topics in the first unit, that is probability and various random variables. Coming to the next one, unit 2, we are going to study the distribution and density function and random variables. So these 2 are the very important, distribution and density function and random variables. we have to calculate we have to calculate density, and we have to calculate distributions of variables, distribution function on the random variables. This second unit is completely deals with the mathematics. Coming to the third one, multiple random variable. This is the extension to the second unit, so that we have to be good at the second unit in order to understand the third unit. Coming to the fourth and fifth unit, which are completely related to some the continuous or discrete random variables or the signals. With respect to those random variables and signals, we have to study all these things. The fourth unit is a random process. Random process can be analyzed by making use of two processes or two characteristics. Random process, if you go with the random process in the case of probability, and we can go with the two processes or two methods. One is temporal characteristics, another one is spectral characteristics. Here we are going to study the random process with respect to the temporal characteristics, and whereas in the fifth unit we are going to study the random process with the spectral characteristics. In the fourth unit we are going to study what is temporal characteristic. Fifth unit we are going to study the spectral characteristics. And I am sure that if you are good at the probability theory and stochastic process, in coming semester the subjects are going to be very easy for you. That subjects are signals and system, signal processing and communication. These subjects will be completely based on the probability theory and stochastic process, so that everybody has to put the more focus on the probability theory and stochastic process. In the next class I am going to give the overview on the 5 unit. After that we will see the actual syllabus of probability theory and stochastic process. Thank you.